Hi everybody, this is Joe Floretta here, and I'm making this video to expose Destiny and Destiny I process for the harsh reality that it is. And to start off, I want to explain why the Destiny material is so harsh and why it's so hard for a lot of people to take in and accept. And it's because for the Destiny material to be the effective application that it is requires self-honesty from the individual who is dedicating themselves to live the material of destiny, of oneness and equality, and it requires self-honesty. It's the hardest thing anybody can ever face, really. Not the hardest, but it's one of them, because self-honesty is virtually not existent, is not existed whatsoever in the world. And why self-honesty was so hard for me in particular was because within being self-honest, my entire life was just a complete fuck up. Every single pattern that I've allowed myself to be as who I am is just a complete dishonest lie, because self-honesty has shown me that every time that I'm doing something that is not participating myself in finding a solution for the problems in the world, I'm prolonging the solution. I'm prolonging the problems in the world. I am the problem in the world just because I'm not fixing the problem in the world. And that's what self-honesty implies. It implies that you're responsible for the world, because who else would be but the people that are here? Who else is responsible for the one that lets the suffering happen? And that's where it's so hard. That's where destiny is so harsh for people, is because that just completely flips everyone's world upside down and just exposes them as a complete fucking asshole, because it's the truth. Self-honesty will show that everybody who is not taking the time to apply themselves to the principles of oneness and equality and thus implementing that have been the creators of the fuck up of the world. And that's so hard to accept, because changing that would be changing your entire life, every participation within everything that you do. And that's why I left the Destiny I process, because I wasn't ready. Because before I even knew what self-honesty was, I already knew that I was always being dishonest with myself, because I was always afraid to be who I was unconditionally. That goes back to me knowing that I've been homosexual for quite some time, throughout all of my remembering, really, and how I've seen society and people condemn homosexuality just really scared the shit out of me, and just made it to where, like, I didn't want to be self-honest whatsoever. I didn't want to face people within the starting point of me being who I really was, so I decided to live this dishonesty as just setting up a character, just pretending to be something that I'm not, so I'm not at risk of letting myself be hurt. And within that, I've just rooted every single pattern in my life, every single behavior from that has been just dishonest, because from that first original dishonest character, I've had to build an endless amount of characters to keep up with one another, to stack up so they all add up right. So I'm this perfect being that at all times is never responsible for what I'm actually doing, because I'm just a character, because I'm not allowing myself to be who I really am. And therefore, like, it doesn't matter how I conduct myself, because it's not really me and participating as me. And within that as well, I've just fallen into addiction. I've fallen into any sort of thing that will get me to continue on the path of these characters so I don't have to face who I really am as someone who's responsible for the destruction in this world. And it's something that's been so hard for me to face because my whole life has been rooted from a path of dishonesty, from being dishonest as being afraid of being hurt, as being condemned for being homosexual or being wrong or just being anything other than what isn't acceptable. And within being rooted in this dishonesty, facing self-honesty as facing myself as the person who's actually creating the fuck up this world is just the hardest thing that I've had to do, and I couldn't do it. And so I just made every excuse to be these characters, but for here no longer, I'm tired of living dishonest and the most fucking stupid way to lie in the world, which is me being dishonest in the sense that I'm telling everybody that I'm coming in contact with about the equal money system, equal money capitalism, Destiny, and all that it stands for, and trying to expose real change in this world and how it can be possible. And within that, never even considering that I have to be the one to change. Like, I am the change. I've never wanted to face that until now. Sorry, what I was getting at was that I was lying to everybody about just this most basic point of oneness and equality, and it's just so stupid. Like, it really puts in perspective in my mind as to here I'm professing oneness and equality as the answer to the problems in this world when I can't even conduct myself in a way that would be one and equal to the world within who I really am, not as a character, but as a living being that actually does something for this world, that actually realizes that, okay, I'm fucking everyone else over by not helping them right now. And it's been a process. I never realized that just making this video right now is the first step, the first hardest step over with. Now that I've exposed myself as being the fucking douchebag that I've been, as just a person wanting to just hold on to these characters which obviously have no value to life, obviously don't care for life whatsoever. I've finally, like, within exposing myself, I can stand as someone that finally can stop lying, because I honestly, I said this in my last video, but I'm I'm doing this in the sense to change myself more so. I was about to say change myself on a guilt basis, but not really. But I'm doing this right now to change myself, and it's just exposing myself so I'm not a liar anymore. So I'm just like putting myself out there so I'm not embarrassing myself for somebody that's claiming to be one and equal with the principle of destiny, but actually is just a complete liar within standing for the principles of oneness and equality, as self-honesty, as the realization that oneness and equality is the only way. And I don't know, I'm sorry that my train of thought's getting all mixed up, but I don't think I said this, but it was on my mind. I'm making these videos so I just don't so I just can't embarrass myself anymore, so I can stop fucking living as this person that is only interested in my characters, so I can actually stop being a liar. Is why I'm doing this, so I don't embarrass myself to fellow Destonians as someone who is professing the equal money system in Destiny to be the solution, but somebody that actually doesn't participate in with it. And I don't know. Until next time, I guess. Thanks for listening.